Movie review. This is the 2019 movie Parasite, coming out of South Korea, and I'm just gonna go through first the notables. The director Jun-Ho Bong and the cast. I'm going to refer to the cast members by how they would be recognised when you watch the film, because we're not familiar with the Korean names, so they will have little impact. But I will read the real names of the actors the best I can. Kan Ho Song is the father of the family who becomes a chauffeur. Yo Jong-ju is the rich mother who we meet early on. So Dam Park is the daughter of the family, the working class family, and is given the nickname in English of Jessica. Woo Sik Choi is the son of the working class family, and he is called Kevin. Sun Kyun Lee is the husband of the rich mother, played by Yo. Jung Ji-zo is the daughter of the rich family who receives the English language lessons from Kevin. Hoi Jim Jang plays the housekeeper. She's the mum of the working class family. And the old housekeeper, another significant supporting actor, is Jeon-Hoo Lee, who is fired midway through the film. The screenplay by Han Jin-woon and Boon Joon-ho, and the cinematography from Kwon Poi Hong, and the music by Jeo Jung. I hope you've got the gist of that. So let's move on to the awards, and of course there's been a lot of press release over the last week about this movie. We'll run through the list of awards, and it's pretty impressive. Last Sunday it won the Best Motion Picture Award of the year at the Oscars. Also Bong Joon-ho won the Director's Best Achievement Award. It also won for Best Original Screenplay and Best International Feature Film, and was nominated in Production and Film Editing. At the Golden Globes it won the Best Motion Picture for Foreign Language, nominated for Director and for Screenplay. And at the BAFTA Awards, it won for Best Screenplay and Best Film not in an English language, and was also nominated for Best Director and Best Film. So, having dealt with all the awards and the members of the cast, what is this movie like? Well, I must say that I've done some considerable thinking on this movie. Initially I was a little reticent to put it as a best picture of the year, but it's had an effect on me, and so I'm going to go through my review. We start off witnessing this family of four who live in a basement of a block in a very rundown area in a city. We're not quite sure what city it is. It could be Seoul. And we witnessed there the younger two's addiction to Wi-Fi, and this seems to be their new toy that connects them with the outside world, and they are absolutely obsessed with the notion of getting a signal. And this reflects, I guess, how toys have changed over the year, and the director is now making it quite clear that this is the new addiction for poor working class families. They make ends meet by putting together pizza boxes for a local takeaway company, and we witness an early scene where a representative from the takeaway company comes down to pay, and it's clearly not sufficient, and it's also an issue that often comes into conflict about what they deserve and what they don't deserve. Then an opportunity arises for Ki-woo, the son, to teach English to a teenage daughter for a well-to-do family who live across town. And this brings together the main focus of the movie, I think, which is to give the viewer a glimpse of the different lifestyles of the needy, the have-nots, in comparison to the rich, who appear to have everything. And we see this as a representative, really, of the snapshot of South Korean life, the contrasts. And in doing this, we also get an inkling as to a stereotypical view of how they go about life. The working class family, the parents appear on the outside not to work. The son has aspirations of university, but they are really living from day to day. And they have developed a sort of cunning, a guile and a mischief about their ability to get hold of the money that enables them to enjoy their Wi-Fi. And this comes out very clearly once the son gets his foot in the door at the well-to-do family. In contrast, the Kim family, the Park family, if I can just describe them as the Kim family, which is the working class family, and the Park family, who are the affluent rich family, once they get Ki-woo gets a foot in the door to start teaching the teenage girl, it becomes apparent that the mother of the household, who generally makes most of the decisions, wants to find a new art teacher for her son, who has some sort of behavioural problems and is a very active young primary school student. This opens up Ki-woo's thinking that his older sister, who we describe as Jessica, may well be able to fit into this role. And although he arranges for the introduction, the mother is unaware that they're related, and it appears to be quite without any sort of connivance that this girl then starts to teach this boy. She has an amazing ability to inflate her abilities and uses concepts such as painting as therapy for psychological behavioural difficulties. The mother sucks in due to her naivety and her ability to be easily manipulated by the cunning of the girl. Then an incident takes place after the girl Jessica has performed her work. She is then offered a lift home by the chauffeur, who basically carries out his duties chaperoning the mother around to shopping malls and to the father to and from his place of business. But as Jessica is in the back of this limousine, she connives a plan and removes her panties and leaves them in the rear of the car, and the father then finds them, and to cut a long story short, the chauffeur is sacked. Now Jessica has already put in plan to replace him with her father, and this duly happens. And then the last part of the jigsaw, involving the housekeeper has an allergy to peaches, and this becomes common knowledge quickly, and both Jessica and Kevin lay the trap for her to become allergic to the oranges, and she presents as being quite ill with asthmatic problems, and furthermore, the Kim family then illustrate this by catching her on video, exposing her visits to a hospital, and this results in her being relieved of her duties, and then of course she's replaced by the mother of the Kim family. So this basically represents the title of the film, Parasite. They have leached themselves off this wealthy family now, and are relatively affluent as a result of their connivance. So that's the basic gist of the movie. Once installed, we then see the film develop, and there's a spanner that's thrown in the works, which I won't explain, but it means that the corner gets turned, and their perceived comfortable status as working for this rich family, the Parks, gets turned on its head as a result of the visit of the old housekeeper one night in the torrential rain, and she basically has been keeping her husband in a basement area of the house, unbeknown to all and sundry, and she manipulates her way into going to see him because he's been without food for a number of days. Now this, of course, discovery throws the whole scam into a questionable situation for the future. And then the second half of the movie shows how this leads to a number of stark disasters for the Kim family. But I just want to, without plot spoiling the sort of last third of the movie, which I suggest you go to see it, I just want to point out a few of the scenes that I found very amusing and very memorable. First, the fact that the rich family are constantly referring to the smell, initially Kevin's smell, and then the subsequent arrival of Jessica, the father and the mother. And this goes back to the fact that in the neighbourhood, in the basement, they capture the smells of people on the ground level, and there's a sort of drunk who frequently urinates on the sidewalk just above the basement, and the stench materializes in the area that the Kim family live. And next, the scene in the chauffeur-driven car where the young woman removes her panties is certainly a very amusing take on how to create a situation out of nothing. And then also the effect on the placing of peaches for the housekeeper who has an allergy to this is also quite memorable. And there's also a terrific scene when the Park family go away for some R&R, and the four members of the Kim family get into an excessive gluttony of riches with food and alcohol, and gloat about their newfound gains and how ridiculously naive the rich family are. And then the final scenes, which are of a horrific nature, bring to the party, so to speak, the aspect about Asian societies who appear on the face of it to have what they describe as a cool heart, but then in the face of a high stressful situation resort to extreme violence, as borne out in the final scenes at the birthday party for the rich family's boy. And we also, finally, there's a very traumatic scene where the Kim family return to their neighbourhood in a situation where there's torrential rain, and they find that their basement has been flooded out based on the inadequate drainage in that part of town, in contrast to the rich part of town where there's no problems of flooding whatsoever. And I think this draws out the director's look at the political view of Korean society, contrasting the haves, the privileged, and their pettiness for certain likes and dislikes of a petty nature, with the more traumatic impact on the have-nots who are subject to these disasters as a result of the environment. And I thought it brought out the comparison quite neatly. So in terms of the movie, yeah, it's a good movie. It's a very good movie. It's certainly worthy of a nomination at those awards events. So I still think, though, that I don't think it's an Oscar winner, but excellent effort. The subtitles are really easy to follow. The storyline is very easy to follow. The characters have a reality that I identify with, whether it be the Kim family or the Park family. There's not an exceptional performance, but they knit together extremely well, bearing in mind, of course, that you can't understand the native tone. So I thoroughly recommend that you view this movie. It's called Parasite, and it was the best movie of the year as selected by the Academy Awards last weekend.